Hey guys, welcome back to Alex's shop. We got a bit of a different episode today, or video I should say. We're going to switch over from heavy machinery to a boat motor. This is a 9.5 Sport Twin Evinrude. It's I found it. I was cleaning out a lady's barn. I found it was buried under a bunch of dirt and rags and stuff in the shop. I've done a few things to it already, so I'll take you through it, go over it, get a little bit of what I did to it, a little history on it, and then we'll go from there. All right, so under the shroud here, pull this off and take a look. So it's a basic boat motor. It's got, I believe, magnetos and coils up top. I have already redone these. When I got this thing, it's actually really clean. I didn't really do much cleaning to it at all, even though it was literally buried in rags and dirt. I pulled this whole cover off. I rebuilt, I put new coils in it. I think I did new points. If I'm not mistaken, this does have points in it or something. So now it should have spark. And then I went to start it and I realized I wasn't getting any fuel. So that's what we're gonna work on today. I have a new fuel pump. It's been sitting in the shop for a few months now. We'll just put that box down there. We don't need it. So I believe it's the right one. I can't remember how much this thing costs, but see if we can get this thing fired up and be good. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this motor yet. I already have a 9.9 Johnson that I run on my little 12-foot aluminum boat. And if you're not familiar with that boat, it is in a video I did. My first video on this channel was a little tour of the shop area. So, but I don't know if I'm going to keep this as a backup or sell it. We'll see how it runs and see what I want to do with it. I might sell it and get a little money out of it. They're worth a little something. But I got to go through, check. If I get this thing running, I want to make sure it, spins freely. The prop seems good. Should be forward there. I mean, it locks up in gear, so I guess we'll see. That should be reverse. Yep, there's reverse. So the linkages seem to be working good. Yeah, so this thing's pretty cool. It's got a little lever here on the bottom. Push the handle back. Then you can lower the handle, lock it in place. The throttle linkages seem to work pretty good on it. So I guess we'll see. Put it in. There it goes all the way up. We'll see what we can do here. We'll get that fuel pump on. Should have a boat tank that'll fit this fuel fitting here. Yeah, so I should have something that fits that. We'll see if we can get this thing fired up. If we can get it fired up, it'd be great. Maybe we'll put it on the back of that little 12-footer and we'll take it for a ride, see how she runs, and then go from there. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get my spark checker out. I want to put it on this to make sure I still have spark. Make sure I'm not wasting my time. Make sure that works good. Then we'll go from there. All right, so we're going to pull this over, see if we can get any spark on this thing. I shut the light off above us so we can see it better, or maybe you guys can see it. All right. Doesn't look like great spark, but there is spark. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but we do have spark. So let's get that. Let's get this fuel pump installed, and then I'll get my boat tank and see if we can get this thing fired up. All right, let's get this installed. First things first, pull that spark tester out of the way. We have a fuel line off the carburetor here. Oh yeah, it snapped clean off right there. Look at that. Alright, so we're going to have to fix that. Looks like bottom wire goes to bottom spark plug, so that would be easy to remember so we don't mess the timing up on these. I don't know about you guys, but I do not like these hose clamps. They're always a fight. There's that fuel line. Ooh, boy. So I think it's just two flatheads that hold these on. There is a way I know to pull these apart too. I think you pull these flatheads on top and bottom, the flathead on top and bottom, and then they should come apart. And I'll take it apart and show you. I think it's just a diaphragm, and it's very common for these old pumps that are diaphragm pumps. I believe they run off vacuum, so they, as the motor runs, it pulls vacuum and sucks the diaphragm together, and then opens and sucks and opens, and that allows the fuel to be pumped in. So a lot of the times when they sit for so long, they dry and they crack, so they no longer properly work. So we'll see if that's the case with this one here. Dang. Screw right there. I do remember, I think I pulled this hose off last time and I wasn't getting any fuel. I don't know why I never put this pump on. It's not a hard thing to do. I guess I just never did it. Who knows? Ran out of time, stopped working on something. It's kind of tough to tell. Looks like there's a filter in this too. Right here it says filter. So we'll pull that off and see what that looks like. But yeah, that right there, that's your diaphragm. See how you could just barely depress it? Actually looks really clean in here. So I don't know if that would be the problem or not. Let's check out this filter quick. Okay. I mean, the filter screen even looks pretty good too. So I don't know. We'll replace it. You never know. It could just be a tiny little crack in there that I can't see, and then see if that fixes the problem. The new one came with this gasket. Oh boy. Came with the gasket, and it came with new screws as well. So that's pretty cool. I'll probably put a little Loctite on there, just some blue stuff to keep them from backing out. Seal it up a little bit. I don't believe I have any thread sealer here. I do have. This is what we'll put a little bit of the high-tack gasket sealer on there, and maybe a little thread on the tip. That'll keep it from leaking in, and it'll keep it from coming out. Let's see. I gotta try and pull that gasket off of there. Compare these fuel pumps side by side. So that is a little different. It stands off a little more. But this is your vacuum chamber right here. That's where that vacuum comes through to depress the diaphragm. So, I'm not sure why it's different. I don't think it's really gonna hurt nothing. I'll peel that old gasket off there. And I'll put this new one on. Alright. Gotta go locate some fuel line. Hopefully I have a little bit laying around here. Look at that. Fuel line laying around here. Cooperate with us. Yeah, this should work out just fine. Might have to shorten it up a little bit. Now, hose clamps. I got some laying here that we use. I like the worm gear clamps better. I feel like you can get them tighter. They hold better. And they just come off so much easier. It only matters what kind of clamp you use when you're the one working on it. Alright, so nothing seems to be interfering. Let's see if I can put this shroud back on. Alright, good. So before I go lug this thing outside and fill a bucket with water, I'm going to get the fuel tank, hook it up, put some fuel through this. I want to make sure it's not going to leak. I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter if it leaked inside or out. I can fix it either way, but we'll do it in here quick. So I'll be right back after I find my boat tank and put some fuel in this. Alright, so I'm back with the boat tank. I'm pretty sure the gas in this thing's, I don't know, a year, 2 years old, probably varnished, so I'm sure it'd be great. Okay. To try and start a motor that hasn't run in, I don't know, quite a few years on. I'm sure that's fine too, though. Yeah, you don't need to clip on there or nothing. We'll just pretend. We'll pretend you did. A for effort. Alright, well I feel like Oh, we got a leak. I see it over there. Where? From where? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. That's what you want to see. All right. Well, the good news is we're getting fuel through the fuel pump just by pressurizing the system. Bad news is it's leaking out of the fuel pump. So let's readjust this hose clamp. Yeah, it's probably still gonna work. Don't like how that sits on there. Nice. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Keep an eye out for leaks, guys. Are we happy now? Are we dripping still, or we still are? From the fuel pump itself? I think it's from the fuel pump itself. I mean, those screws are a little loose. Good to know. It's good to know. Okay. Well, she might be leaking fuel, but that just means she has fuel. So let's. I want to move this outside because if the light's on fire, I don't want it to do it in here. I'll let it burn outside. So I'm gonna move this outside. We'll set you guys up outside, and I gotta get some water for this. So I can't remember if I checked the impeller in this. I do believe I did, and I do believe I changed that lower unit oil too, which I can look. It must be on this side. Yep. Huh. Well. Maybe I never changed it, because there's nothing coming out that plug. Oh, okay. There's oil down on that end, so there's oil in it. Looks clean, looks fresh, so. Alright, I'm gonna go outside, get set up, and I'll bring you guys out with me in a sec. Alright, now that we got the bucket filled here, the hose will stay in there. Let's see if it'll start. I primed the fuel already. Put it on start. Oh, alright. No choke. Put it back on start. There it is. So, not looking like we're picking up water at the moment. We're not getting anything out. There's stuff in there. Let me get a screwdriver and see if I can pull it. It might not be high. Try that again. Now that we got a little higher. That looks good. Still not picking anything up. Shut that water off. Let's see what we got going. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this intake screen off down here. Let's see if that's gonna be a problem or not. Sometimes these just get plugged up. It's either gonna be that plugged up, this plugged up coming out of the block, or we're gonna have to replace the impeller, which I can't remember if I checked it or not, so that is a good possibility as well. Doesn't look too bad, the holes are clear. There's some gunk in there though. So there's gunk in there. Alright, so there's a little bit of dirt in there, but I don't think it's too bad. So let's go on up here. Alright, so the other thing we're going to check is this here. This comes out of the block. And then that should be, if I'm not mistaken, where the water comes out. So we're going to pull that little clamp off, pull this, and see what we got. I'll bring you back in when I get that done. Alright, so we got that piece off, and it's pretty dirty. There's like a spider web or something in there. I mean, and then you come down to the port here. She's pretty packed as well with who knows what that is. Yeah, so that's pretty dirty in there. So I'm gonna see if I can get the hose on this end, and with this open, just flush water out the backside. So let's move this back outside and do that. Start by flushing this out. Maybe a little up here. Gotta be careful not to go too high. Don't want to go above them cylinders. So let's see if that did anything. All right, I got my gas hooked up. I got the water filled up. Let's see if we can get this thing to fire up and work. I have the intake screen off, but I put the little hose back in there just so I can flood out this whole housing here. We still don't really have much of anything working here. We'll pop this tube right off. We'll see what happens. All right, we're back in the shop now. Boat tank's pretty much out of gas, so I'm gonna get some of that tomorrow, get some fresh gas in that anyway. Thinking about it here, it could be that impeller. I do want to drop this lower unit out, but also this, I believe, is a thermostat. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. So we also probably should check on that. I gotta do a little research, check into that, see what we got going on, but I'll come back tomorrow. We'll drop that out, see if we can take a look at that impeller. Probably maybe put that back in, and then the intake screen as well. So we'll call it there for tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, a little change of scenery here. I'm sitting in my car at work. I was just editing this current video, and it's getting pretty long, so I'm probably just gonna cut it off here and call it a part 1 of the boat motor. And the next part, I'll take the lower unit off, I'll clean everything, I'll get a new impeller in there, and then I'm going to put it on the back of my 12-footer, and we'll take it out for a little ride and test it out and see how it does, if everything works good with this new impeller and stuff. So I'm gonna end this one here, and keep an eye out for this part 2 of this coming up, and then we'll get this motor back to running, and we'll go work on something else. I think we might work on my 4-wheeler next, actually, so that might be interesting. That might be a multi-part series, just because I want to do quite a few things to it. So we'll get part 2 done, and then we'll go from there, see what we want to do. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you coming back, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.